Hello my friends, welcome to Neville and Chat, and this episode is about my experience for up until 150 days. So as you all know, I have been on this 300-day challenge to test and experiment with the law of assumption as much as I can and as much as I possible. And while I do this, I try to write down as much as possible, to catalog as much as possible, and to try to experience this fantastic law as much as possible. Up until now, I can tell you that I have had some very interesting things happen. As you know, I have talked before how I attracted essentially a specific person, or like love, and it's still going on even though I have changed course and want something entirely different for my love life. But that's the subject for an entirely different video. So what I can tell you up until now, I am recording this in nature, and so this is a little bit more like free thinking, and as this is Neville and Chat, it's meant to be about Neville Goddard and his teachings and about talking like freely. And also would be very beautiful to get some comments from you, so to know what are you thinking, how is your life going, what are your challenges. So I can tell you that after 150 days, psychologically I'm at a much better spot than I was before, even though I had extensive psychological training. I still felt or fell short a lot of the times. Now I don't remember Seligman. Yes, Seligman said that even though he is essentially one of the creators of positive psychology, he has a lot of hard days, hard times, etc, etc, etc. And so, but I thought that I could get to a place where I won't have depressive thoughts and feelings, etc, etc, etc. I can tell you that, for example, confidence is a subject that I very much like to talk about, because a lot of the times I feel I don't have it enough. Confidence essentially is confidere, I mean, with trust. In what? In yourself. And who are you? You are I am, your imagination. So trusting is trusting this wonderful imagination and really trusting it. And I feel that when I trust this imagination, my life gets so much better. It's all very simple, but at the same time not very simple. That's why Neville talked so much about this stuff and why he wrote so many pages in his book, because maybe we have to hear those thoughts and those ideas in many different ways so that we will really understand it. So the subject of confidence, I've noticed that I'm not confident or get self-conscious when I think I don't have what I want, or when I think I am not what I want to be. So when I say you have to be very confident, you know, it's like you don't have it, or I don't have it, okay? And essentially is an ugly feeling. But whenever I catch myself and I say, no, I have what I want, I am what I want, and I'm not trying to say that because I'm trying to get what I want. I try really to feel for at least that moment that I, at this moment in time, have what I want. And try to feel. I try to yield back, and I try to trust. I try to trust this imagination, this inner power, and I try to really trust it. And I found out that life gets much better. I feel like I have it, and I feel like my relationships with people are even better than before, especially with strangers, because as I told you, I live in a very, very, very bad place. And I remember in the past, when I didn't know about the law, and I thought that it's all about circumstances and that it is what it is. But I think that Neville is right when he says that if you look back at your life and you can see that it is your creation, that this life really is your creation. I thought about that if I had to work, I want to work for the government because I don't want to have owners. I don't want to enrich anybody else. Why would I want to enrich somebody else? And that's how it happened. When I said I want to be like the director or CEO, I got that, and an even better position. And then I thought to myself, like, I would like to be something different. I would like to be a therapist. And then I think because of that, I lost that. Well, thinking about money, I was very well into my path to financial freedom. And I said to myself, like, quietly, that's too good to be true. It can't be that easy. I can't be so close. And then overnight, I lost by 80% of it, So I see how my inner imagination creates outer reality. And I see that, for example, a lot of the times it works very, very quickly. For example, yesterday I had a conflict with my son, and I said to myself, he comes back and apologizes. And like in half a minute, it actually came true. Exactly as I imagined. So, as you know, my biggest hurdle was to really understand whether or not this imagination or the law of assumption really works. That's what I've been focused on, and a lot of the times I had a lot of doubts, and still I have doubts, but essentially, I have doubts because my 3D is not yet as I want it to be. So that's the main problem. If I had at this moment in the 3D what I imagined like 3 months ago, then I would be 100% sure. Okay? Yes, I know that I have to have it my imagination first before it appears in my 3D. So it's not a problem of knowing, it's a problem of believing, trusting. That's the problem. A problem of trusting it, a problem of letting go. As I told you, I had a problem like with money, with finance. I knew that it's impossible to do it like to work 3D, like matter to matter. And I yielded completely to my imagination to do that, to achieve that. But with regards to the special person, I came to the conclusion that as a man, I had to be the one to initiate. But when I remember in my life, whenever I have initiated, it wasn't the best thing. Usually when a woman initiated, or a woman chose me, or I created or attracted, or whatever you call it, that's when the best. And I can tell you, for example, today I have a date, and I think it was from a 3D point of view, or acting from a 3D, and I'm not excited to do that. I don't like to go on a date because I have also made a list of what I want from a partner, and I think that she is not. I have never seen her in real life, but I don't think that she is what I want. So I will follow what Neville says, that what you want, not what is smart, good, what would be okay. No, what you want, not what other want. No, what you want. And coming back, I thought that, okay, if I remember phrasing that in my imagination years ago, I said, if I have to work, I want to work for the government. But now I say to myself, that was a stupid thing to say. Why work? There are millions upon millions of people in the world that are free. Some got there through work, others got there through luck, but in like what seems in the 3D. Essentially, if we take imagination as the only reality, then they got there by believing that hard work will bring them what they want, and still they had to toil. And I don't believe that anymore. I believe that you get wealth if you are in a wealth consciousness. So you're wealthy because you're wealthy. That's it. It's not like you have to think hard about that. And almost nobody that I know had to think about that. It just happened. So it hurts me that I didn't find Neville sooner, because I believe that my life would have been much, much different at this stage. I don't have much time left to live the life that I want, but the life that remains, I want to live it in accordance with the law of assumption. And yes, regarding dating, with regards to dating, I still think most of the time subconsciously that if I'm not active, then I'm missing out. But on the other hand, whenever I'm active, I feel short. Maybe that's an assumption also, but I don't know. Life experience has convinced me that acting does not bring much good in the end, or maybe a little bit, but you still have to really, really try hard, at least in my experience. Another thing that I have caught myself in these moments is, for example, I'm not proud of that, but I know I live in a very, very, very bad place. Like regarding to dating, it's very bad, like really, really bad, really sucks. And I know because I've lived in other cities, and I know how much easier it is, but still I cannot move because of finances. So who is my savior? Wealth. And who is my savior? Moving. That's my savior, or Jesus Christ. The consciousness of Christ is my savior, and your savior as well. So thinking about that, I still think that I remember that, for example, I say to myself, why so hard for me to get a girlfriend? And I listen to this phrasing. Why is it so hard for me to get a girlfriend, or to get a girlfriend that I want? And that's a self-concept. Instead of that, I could create a concept why it is so easy to find or meet new people, why it is so easy to move to another city, why it is so easy to find love, why it is so easy to live. So feeling or experiencing in imagination what I want to experience in the flesh. But before I get there, the only way to get there is through experiencing it first in the imagination. So I think that I talk about this because on one hand I want to talk about this stuff and I don't have the opportunity to talk with anybody, so I can talk with you. It helps to think aloud this stuff, and on the other hand I can share with you and give you some experiential stuff. I know that there are a lot of people, sometimes I feel like there are a lot of people way ahead of me in the law of assumption. They understand probably much better than me, even though I could assume. One great idea you could use is you can assume that you already are, like that you already know or understand the law as great as Neville or Abdullah. You could say that you can assume that you do understand that you are a master, and this mastery will come. This seed will bear fruit. So I'm happy to have been with you. I'm happy to have exchanged this moment with you, and I hope that you got some good insights for you, for your life, and for your journey. So until next time, I bless you, us, and see you next time.